ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ। पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वां भामि। भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीं वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्। My namaskar to you who are all listening to this talk on Srimad Bhagavad Gita. We are here in the 6th chapter. The name of this chapter is the Yoga through Dhyana, or the way of meditation. Dhyana Yoga. This adhyaya is called as Shashtodhyaya, is called as Dhyana Yoga. So, the opening verses of this chapter, we see that Bhagavan concludes the arguments or what he was saying in the earlier chapter, the 5th chapter. He concludes here in the opening verses, especially the 2nd verse, which says that what is said as sannyasa, know it also as yoga, because without the sannyasa of sankalpa, the renunciation of all resolves, small or big, which has direct implication of going into action, any such desire. So they are called as sankalpa. So without such renunciation of sankalpa, there cannot anybody be a true yogi. Yogi bhavati kaschana. So he concludes there, meaning that sannyasa and yoga, that is karma yoga and karma sannyasa. If we see these two terms, what are the subject matter here? Sannyasa is renunciation, giving up of actions, and what Arjuna are generally conventionally referred as not doing any action or indulge into any action for providing one's need, especially food, shelter, etc. So that's why this term in the first verse they are used niragni and cha akriya. Cha means and, akriya, who is not doing anything. So this is very important lesson for us, especially for Indian civilization itself, that not doing anything should not be equated with spirituality. Niragni and akriyata. Niragni means, I have explained this word earlier. Niragni means he is not touching Agni. It referred as it is in the two sense, that Agni in the sense of various ritualistic karma kanda which are enjoined by the first portion of the Vedas, which is called as karma kanda. These karma kandas, these yajnas, they are done with an objective to propitiate gods, Indra, Varuna, etc., Prajapati, etc., and they have an objective to fulfill certain desire, maybe here on earth or hereafter in heaven, etc., that they may reach some heaven, or he may enjoy that enemyless kingdom, asapatnam samrajyam, like some king may do Ashwamedha Yajna. Or in Nitya karmas, there are agnis, etc. They are used in homas, etc. So he is Niragni, he does not touch the fire. It also means that he does not do any such actions, any such rituals as generally conducted by the householder people who have desires of this world, or whosoever has desires of this world. And it also means the fire which is continuously lit, that fire is also used for cooking. So in a particular later date, this meaning was more so prevalent, that Niragni means he does not cook for himself. He does not cook for himself. So Niragni, he does not use fire. So that's why they beg alms. So they accept only cooked food and they eat it. So that meaning that he is not cultivating, indulging into any kind of household affair, so as to have, so fire there, then it require wood, then he required means all cooking utensils, and then he have to have stores, etc., etc., and for that he must earn, so that with the money he can buy those things, and all everything, the whole set, or whole this wheel is set into motion of the sansara chakra. Niragni. So the person here, Gita is saying that some person who is, if he is simply Niragni, does not make him sannyasi. Or somebody is simply not doing anything because in the name of doing meditation, akriya, he does not simply become yogi. This is very important lesson for us, that these are not to be equated with the spirituality, that spiritual progress. And here now the third verse, this is very important, so to say, very simply put in two lines, that arurukshor muner yogam arurukshoho munehe. So this so for aruruksha muni, look like this fourth vibhakti, fourth case, arurukshoho munehe. Yes. So for such a arurukshoho. So what does that aruruksha means? The one person who want to get established into this path of meditation, who want to get established into samadhi, who want to get established into yoga. Akriya. Yoga here now particularly means, it does not mean karma yoga here. The person who is, he has especially want to be indulgent into contemplative life. Contemplative, that is the yoga where one sits and contemplate, meditate within himself or on certain thing. On certain thing, but what do I mean by that? Many times some yogic practices they teach to meditate on outside of themselves, like on a flame of a lamp, etc. So various kinds of meditation. So we might have very much seen this attitude that some person who finds a newly found love for spirituality, and especially the people who are more serious about it, whether they are in their householder life or who take to monasticism. Like here you might have seen in Ramakrishna Mutt that young novices, they joined to become monk. They are called as brahmachari. So the idea of meditation, once if you get a little taste of it, it is very addictive. And all the more so, anything in the outside world, wherever one's mind may interact, and it can disturb your kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsara, anything. Those are within you, but outside thing they might provoke it. That provoke that kind of reaction, and naturally it will disturb your routine meditation. So what is the solution? So he should not go towards that way. He should not indulge in that way. He should keep away. He should circumvent it and stay away from it. Stay away from people. Stay away from the world. Stay away from the work, etc. This is the primary idea. That's why they become the cave dweller, or they become the forest dweller, akriya and niragni. But what does Gita say here? The person who want to get established, who has not been established yet, who is not established yet, for such a person, karma, action is the way. Action is the instrument. That is what has been said. So it looks very contradictory, these two ideas. That if somebody want to become want to progress in meditation, want to become adept in meditation, in yoga, that his natural tendency is to stay away from the action, because it has all the kinds of chances that it will provoke some kind of reaction and it will disturb your meditation. But what Gita is saying, Arurukshoho Muner Yogam Karma Karanam Uchyate. Karma is the Karanam for Yogam, for Arurukshoho Munehe. The person, Muni, is the contemplative person. It is so, and in Ramakrishna Vivekananda tradition, from the teachings and life of Sri Ramakrishna, Holy Mother Sri Sarada Devi, and Swami Vivekananda, we find again and again this trace is given. Sri Ramakrishna, he says that karma is not to be given up. That he says to Ishan that initially you have to do some karma. Karma means, he says, jab, dhyan, purashcharan, ityadi. That you have to put efforts into it. Like he says that nobody has to give up the karma. Like he says that giving the example of a daughter-in-law who is now conceived and bears and another soul within her. So as the days of her pregnancy progresses, so Sri Ramakrishna gives the example, cites the example. So accordingly, her mother-in-law reduces down the load of the work. And when she is in the late in the days of the period of her pregnancy, in the 9th month, she almost has to do nothing. She only has to take care of herself and the life within. And when she gives birth to a baby, then her whole duty is to take care of that child only. Citing how the karma tyag will happen. That now karma is not to be given away forcefully. Renounce forcefully. Forcefully in the sense, what does it not to give up forcefully means? When your outside behavior of renouncing any actions, your duties, responsibilities must reciprocate to the status of your mind, how far it has spiritually progressed. He always cites the example, he gives the example of as you progresses toward Kashi, Kolkata will be left back automatically. Very naturally, you do not have to push away Kolkata so that you reach to Kashi. It is not that way. You make an effort to go towards Kashi and Kolkata is left back automatically. So you stress on positive so that what is negative becomes redundant, becomes ineffective, unconcerned. It becomes immaterial. It loses its power, its sway over your mind in your day-to-day life. Its power of intervention is reduced, it wanes out. That is the progressive renunciation of karma. This is what Sri Ramakrishna says. Holy Mother has always emphasized that even for sadhus, that they must, if when they are not meditating, they must be doing some good karmas. If they are there is no opportunity of some doing any good karma for the benefit of others, then at least read some book, keep some good sangat, satsanga, but not to stay without any activity, any proper, any appropriate work. She herself, her life was demonstrated. So, our spiritual tradition does not teach us to become Niragni and Akriya in the name of God. If your real spiritual experience state is making you incapable slowly of discharging your duties, then that is the progress. That is yes. But in the name of that I have become now a great spiritual giant, just in your belief, that's why from tomorrow onwards I will not do any action. I need not to do anything. I am not obligated by this. This is false equivalence. This should not be done. This is what Gita says. Rather, the person who are of the serious spiritual intention, who want to progress, they should not give up karma in this way. They should not look or have a negative outlook towards their duties, towards the whatever the life whatever the circumstances, whatever their prabdha might have brought to them, they should not treat them condescendingly. Not lethargy, not unnecessary asakti, attachment towards work, both are condemned for the spiritual aspirant. Arurukshoho munehe. Munehe, muni, which is the person who is contemplative, who wish to get established into yoga. Now, he should not give up karma. For such a person, karma is the instrument to get established. Karma is the cause, karanam. Karma is the path. Karma is the way. Action is the way. So, what does now this person is, he should not give up action, but how he should do action, it has been narrated in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th chapter. What is his attitude toward work should be. Because it should not mean that karma is an again excuse for dhyana. That because you are not doing dhyana, but you are still you want to progress on the path of meditation. So, because meditation becomes difficult, you try to find something because karma is karma karana muchyate. So, I must do some work. So, when I am able to not meditate, so karma should not become excuse of meditation. That is also important. It is not runaway escape from meditation. It is for the person who want to get established, who want to progress in the path of meditation. And such person should not forsake. That should be the attitude. That he want to progress on the path of meditation, and that person with such attitude, as it is mentioned in the Gita in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th chapter, with such attitude he must engage into his rightful duties, discharge his responsibilities. This is the meaning. Arurukshoho munehe karma karanam uchyate. Till then, he should not give up the actions, relinquish the action. Do what is demanded of the situation as much as he is in position to do that. Not in the name of meditation. I have meditation. I want to do meditation, so I should not do. I will not go. I will not do such and such a duty. This is the very nature of human mind. We love greatness. We want to be great. That is our very innate desire. And why? Because you are truly great within. Bruhat, that is big. That Atman is the greatest. That's why it is called as Brahman. That consciousness is the greatest. Nothing is greater than it. It is infinite. So that greatness is your true nature. That's why you aspire to be great. It is very natural. Swabhavika. It springs forth from the very bottom of the core of your personality. Right from that consciousness to be great. Now, in the search of that greatness, we are searching for limited greatness, and as soon as we find that, maybe somebody recognizing it or not, we want other people to recognize it. We want to feel it, and we want to compensate it with other thing. Like I have seen my some cousin or some friend, if they are going to gym, suppose maybe some exercise they are doing, some muscles they have developed. If his mother asks something to do, some little thing, that he is tired, he will not do that. If I do something, some other good thing, I want it to be recognized. I want it to be some way paid. I will not do certain other thing. You will always find this behavior everywhere. That is human nature. I help someone with some money probably I have. I immediately demand the receipt from someone that you people know that what I have done. How do you say that to you, to me like that? Do you know how I do? How the way I help the people? Immediately it inflates your ego. You want its recognition because it endorses that you are great. Simply that it can make you feel that you are great. That's what you love. That's what you seek. That's what you are after. The greatness. You want to be great. As soon as somebody makes you feel something, whatever makes you feel, there is such a wave of joy ride over your heart. That joy is inexplicable. If you achieve any greatness, if in any sense somebody reminds you of that and says to you, somebody recognizes that, and every individual, he wants to be great. It is his innate nature. He want to reach that. Every individual. That's why you say two sweet word to someone, he will do your bidding. Oh sir, how great you are. What a wonderful lecture you gave. How kind hearted you are. How brave you are. How intelligent you are. Anything you say. If you have genuinely done something and you can recognize, you can appreciate that, that is one thing. Even if it is not there and you say some good words to that person, it still makes him happy, as it liberates him, because it is one grain, one hair closer to that liberation, to that feeling. It gives him that. That's why to make, Swamiji says, that's why to criticize is not the way. It does not make any man better. Rather, he says that is the virtue, that is the quality of the great people. Even that greatness in the goodness in any person, it is of the size of the small grain of sand. They see them it like a mountain. That is the quality of the great people. To bring some positive change in some people, that is necessary. To appreciate whatever little good quality they have, whatever little good they might have done. We see this quality in the life of Holy Mother. Even if somebody brings something, some two fruits. Once one devotee brought two mangoes for mother, she appreciated that. And but this associates of Holy Mother, like Yogin Ma, everything, nobody could eat that mango. It was so sour. But Holy Mother still ate that. The quality of the great people. They do not find faults with others. They only see the goodness in the people, their intention, their desire, their thirst for that greatness, to become good. Those are the divine personalities, that is the divine quality. So, our discussion sprouted forth from this point that karma is, or is not an excuse for meditation. That somebody suppose want to do meditation, that he does not want to engage in his duty, that is not the way. Arurukshoho munehe yogam karma karana muchyate. That person, he should not give up work till, as Sri Ramakrishna puts it, like on a palm tree, its leaves fall off when time comes of their own. So, like when some fruit is ripe, it drops off automatically. So, in various ways, Sri Ramakrishna had given plenty of example. Like there is a suppose some some wound, and now it is painful. But when it is ripe, here the doctor gives some medication. Then it shows at certain place. Then only little prick, that all pus etc. which were that spoiled blood, everything will come out, and that person feel relieved. It takes its own time. That is the thing, that you should not do it before time. That is the idea. So arurukshoho munehe karma karana muchyate. So karma is must, but karma is not the escape. It is not an excuse for the spiritual effort. This also must be equally understood. Rather, in the meditation, initially, everybody has to put effort to keep your mind disciplined, to keep your mind focused, not to let your mind waver, to gather your will, to enforce your will on your mind. This requires effort. This requires conscious, deliberate efforts. Karma, it is required. Till then, till to the point where your effort vanishes into effortlessness, and then you have the meditation. The point where effort are in equilibrium with the effortlessness, then you have the meditation. As long as you are doing effort, till then you are not having meditation. When effort ceases, meditation begins. But to cease the effort, you have to do effort. Meditation is not simply going to descend upon you. That's why karma karana muchyate. Sri Ramakrishna and Swami Vivekananda both, they give this example that initially you have to row with a lot of effort. You row your boat, but once it goes and falls into a stream, then what does the boatman do? He erects the shield, and then that wind blows away that boat towards his destination, and he does not have to put now effort. Now he can sit, relax, and can puff on his hookah, that smoke. The idea, initially effort has to be put to cultivate that mind, to develop that taste of meditation within. Like you have developed taste for several other things, and they become your instruments of cutting your boredom or enjoying your time. When you are not dragged by the duties of this world, various ways everybody is bound by various duties, small or young or old, various people. But when you have time at your hand, leisure at your hand, you want to enjoy that time, you want to draw some pleasure, you want to feel, you want to taste that joy, and you have various means that you might go to some certain places. Some people might like to come to Ramakrishna Mutt to attend Arati. or listen to a discourse perhaps, or read some book. Various people, or some people might like to watch a game of cricket or football or some other thing, or they might have different interests. They have cultivated that kind of interest. Some people may be addicted to news, other people are hate news. What is this? Some people like some particular kind of movie, some other people do not like that kind of movie, because a taste they have developed. Suppose horror movie, who watches horror to enjoy it? But some people do, isn't it? So music, some people like some particular kind of music, some people do not like it. Why? Some, because this first person has developed, cultivated that kind of music, that's why he can draw pleasure from it, from that habit, from the training of the mind. He enjoys that, other person cannot. Suppose somebody like Indian classical music, here itself you will find that many people, they cannot correlate with that music. What is going on? Rather he will like the cinema music or something, these Bollywood songs or something like that, whereas this person finds it very cheap and utterly trash, because he has developed, cultivated higher taste. So as mind is trained, so mind has to be trained. Now this is exactly with it is opposite to all your habits hitherto cultivated, because here in the generally your mind is outgoing, it is focused and is engaged in outside world with the help of your senses. And meditation, why it is exactly difficult? Because it is totally opposite, diametrically opposite. The subject of its focus is itself. Many the methods of meditation have intermediary steps, like to meditate on the portrait of God, whoever the form of God you might like. You might like to contemplate divinity in that form, in the suppose portrait of a Rama. You like his character, it is overwhelming, it is pure, it is that ideal it expresses. How the Shuddha Brahma Chaitanya itself incarnate into the form of a human being, and how it behaves. Now, say Rama or Krishna or Shankara or Durga or Hanuman or Ganapati or whatever it may be, according to one's sanskaras, according to one's inclination, taste, he is bringing up everything. Or even different saints, that somebody like suppose Raman Maharshi, many are his followers, devotees. Or there have been many other saints. So contemplate outside, but slowly the objective of that meditation, the efforts of those meditation are the same thing. Restrict your mind to only particular set of thoughts, not to let it waver, slowly discipline and slowly bring it within, that when it needs a support of. Now when children are taught, they are taught with the lot of things, means they are given models, so they can hear something, they can read something, they can practice something. So lot many ways their faculties of the senses are engaged. So this is the initial step, very immersive learning, what we call it. Unfortunate thing is, nowadays this learning is being applied to higher and higher standards. It is not the mark of progress. It is the it is the mark of distress that our grown up children, they are not able to learn as perhaps their earlier generations, 2 to 3 generations earlier, they learned. One joke I read that day on this internet and market. So it's funny as well as it gives the insight and really makes us think that what is wrong. So the joke was something like this, that if you think your earlier generations, or if you think you are smarter than your earlier generations, then remember that the service book which is to come with their car, is to have the directions or instructions how to change and adjust valves of your engine. And now your instructions come. Now your service book comes with the instructions that not to drink the content of the battery. Do you get the point? 2 to 3 generations earlier, the service book of the car used to come with the instructions how to adjust valves of the engines. Now the service books of the car comes with the instruction that do not drink the contents of your battery. What a degradation. Point is that it is the not the mark of the progress that you have to learn. You have to engage different kinds of senses, different kinds of faculty. It is the degradation of your intellect. When person become independent of less and less support, earlier there was the Gurukula Vidya. I have given told this story about Swami Jagadatmananji. He was principal of training center, then head of the Ponnampet center for many years, and he was from probably Kurg district, Karnataka district, and born in a Brahmin family. And his father, he was a very learned Sanskrit adhyapak. So he used to teach many people. But what were the now he was the probably fourth son or Swami Jagadatmananji, and there were he used to teach many children. So one day, one of the relatives, they said that why don't you start teaching your own children now, because they are of the age, so you accept them as your own students. But he wouldn't accept them unless they passed the test, the entrance test, to be his disciples. And what was the test? That they must have memorized all Panini Ashtadhyayi before they are accepted as his student. And he would take a test of those students. If somebody fails, he would not be accepted as disciple. And Swami Jagadatmananji, being the youngest of the very tender age, he failed the test, so his father did not teach him. Now that is the standard. That is the standard of the intellect. That is the standard of the intellect. When Guru is only talking, you have no written material, you cannot write, and you have to only memorize. You have to completely concentrate on your ears, not on your eyes. There is nothing to hold on to. Only your brain has to hold on to only one sense. That is the sense of hearing what Guru is saying. And only help of that, you have to master the subject, whatever may be the subject. Maybe mathematics, maybe Jyotishya, maybe any other Vidya. Memorizing the parts of the Upanishads or Karma Kanda or any other thing, any detail. And it's to its the finest detail, to the ultimate detail. Now that is the brain, that is the quality of the brain. The brain which can do that. As much as you let your brain allow it, let your mind allow to take support more and more, it degrades down the quality of that brain, of that mind. It is weak mind which requires more and more support. So in meditation, initially, because we are habituated to, we are given intermediary something to meditate on, a murti, a pratima, a form, first outside, then inside, then slowly, you first, put these ideas upon itself that God is kind, He is looking towards me, He will save me from all troubles, etc., etc., etc. You put this kinds of relation, emotion, and everything. But ultimate goal is to become slowly independent of everything and let what truly within, let it shine in its own glory. That is the object of meditation. So meditation will flow this way. That is the path of the meditation. It is not going towards many, that many are going towards one. At one point and then pointless. That is, it should become the infinity. So it is the path towards infinity. Arukshoho muner yogam karma karana muchyate. So meditation, so karma on the other hand should not become excuse of meditation. Efforts has to be put, mind has to be developed, cultivated to draw to, so that mind develops the taste of meditation. It learns the joy of meditation. It must, like any other thing, when you learn and when you become successful in it, so you love to do it more and more and more and more. Thus, one must come to the point that at a point he loves meditation. And then he practices it. When he got that little bit of it, he practices it over and over and over again. Thus, he progresses on the path of meditation. Karma karanam uchyate. So, karma is not to be relinquished, but meditation is not to be treated, because meditation is not to be treated in inappropriate way. That karma should not be considered as an escape. Karma is not to be, because this is yogasya karanam, yogam karanam. That he that mune hai, for that muni, he want to get established into yoga, and for that karma is the instrument, karma is the means to get established in the yoga. That is the goal. So you must do your karma so as to facilitate your yoga, dhyana. That is the meaning of this verse. That you must do your actions, your karmas in such a way so that it will facilitate your meditation. That should be the meaning. Arukshoho muner yogam karma karanamuchyate. And yoga arudhasya tasyaiva shamah karanamuchyate. The person who, so to say, has become established in the path of meditation, then shamaha, that the mind is not going to sit quiet. Once he has gained sufficient control over one's mind, then like the smrutis, sometimes they will surface. And they will not even if they do not become wild, they will as if hang on outside your house and wave hand towards you, asking you, will you go with them? This person, he at that time he must exercise shama, that not to go along with that. Shama karana muchyate. That shama is the quietude of the mind, that tranquility of the mind, that that disciplining of the mind, focusing, keeping it on the right track. Shama. Here word is used is inaction. Like damaha, these shad sampatti, they are called as, in explained in Vivek Chudamani. Shama dama uparati, shama dama titiksha uparati shraddha samadhana. So shama is the subjugation of the mind, dama is the subjugation of the indriyas. Shama, dama. Uparati, the withdrawing of the mind from the Vishayas. Titiksha, forbearing its torments. Shraddha, that the faith in the word of the Guru, Shastras, in the goal, in the purpose you have committed to, the ideal you have accepted. Shraddha. And then Samadhana, that then the mind becomes the Samahitaha, the mind becomes tranquil, mind becomes the meditative. Shraddha Samadhana. These are the six virtues, six qualities, six sampatti, they are, as they are called as wealth. They must be cultivated with the discipline, with the practice. How to keep your mind focused? Shamaha. No, because there will be provocations, they will come. Even for the trained mind, the smrutis, sanskaras, they will not be completely weeded out unless the person has the highest experience. Till then, they are not rendered. That's why that samadhi is also called as nirbija samadhi. The sanskaras, they are burned to ashes. Nirbija. So bija do not remain. Till that point onward, this person is always tested along this path. Yoga Rudha. This person is adept in meditation, has become adept in yoga. He's practicing that. So only he has to keep now watch, or not to indulge with them, go along with them. Do not respond to their call. Ignore and focus on the object of your meditation, yoga rudha, in action. He does not show any action towards it. Whereas the person who wish to establish on the path of yoga, he has to show effort. He has to show initiative. So this is the third verse. Arurukshoho munere yogam karma karanam uchyate. Yoga arudhasya tasya eva shama karanam uchyate. Tasya eva means for yogam. Here it is said karanam, reason for what, instrument for what, to get established into yoga. And similarly, that's why the to tasya eva means for the similar reason, for the same, for yoga rudha person, the person who has attained concentration, who has become with the practice of meditation a sort of adept, to reach its goal, he must observe this shamaha. That here inaction is inaction with respect to the sense provocations, the provocation of the past impressions, samskaras, not to go along with them, not to respond to them, to show inaction there. And the action here for the yoga rudha, that he will act in such a way to cultivate his mind for the meditation. He will cultivate, he will take initiative, he will put deliberate effort to make this mind more and more meditative. He will strengthen his will, he will discipline himself in various ways. In this will come later on in this chapter, like in food, in sleep, in your other vyavhara, in achara vyavhara, in going about. It will come in this chapter. So meditation is the core of spiritual practice. And those people are blessed who have tasted, by the grace of God, the joy of meditation. Now only such a person, if whosoever has tasted that joy, has to do only one thing, that not to waste his time unnecessarily. That much. So here we will stop, we will take break, and we will continue with the next verse in the next class. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.